Hi everyone, welcome back to another video. This is Thundershock and today we're going to face a challenge in Pokémon Gold, which is one of the first Pokémon games that I've ever played. And a Pokémon that doesn't often get recognized as being strong is Swinub, but I always liked him for some reason. What if we only used him during the whole game? Would we be able to completely beat the game? So the rules are very simple. Only Swinub can be used in battle, and items in battle are not allowed. But held items and using items between battles is fine. I use a program to change Totodile for Swinub and choose him to start our journey. The first opponent that we face is our nameless rival. And because I really don't want our first battle to be a loss, I train Swinub to level 7. When battling Chikorita, we stick with only using Tackle and we are able to take him out. Then we get to the lab and a policeman asks us for our rival's name. And I tell him his name is Super SS, in honor of the first one of you guys to comment in our last video. I will make many more challenges in the future, so if you have any ideas for names to give our rivals and even our Pokemon, please do leave a comment below. So we could just go for the first stream right away, but I always like to complete the Bellsprout Tower first. We end up beating everyone with one-hit KOs, because Bellsprouts are vulnerable to our newly learned move, Powder Snow. It's a nice type move that isn't very powerful, but hits with stab and has 100 in accuracy, so it's not that bad of a move. After defeating everyone in the tower, we head into the first gym, which is probably one of the easiest gyms that we're going to face, because Ice is super effective against flying types. So one Powder Snow takes out PJ, and Pidgeotto goes out with 2 Powder Snows. In the next city, Team Rocket is not being very nice, so we need to teach them a lesson. After doing that, we can access the Bug-type gym. Metapod and Kakuna are able to tank a couple of hits, but we end up taking them down without suffering much damage. Scyther, on the other hand, deals quite a bit of damage with Quick Attack, but Powder Snow is super effective against him and we are able to take him down with 3 attacks. Our next challenger is our rival. He starts with Ghastly, which gets frozen with Powder Snow and goes down with a couple more hits. Then comes Bayleaf. I thought it would be easy to beat Bayleaf because Ice is super effective against Grass, but I forgot that Swinub is also Ground type, which means that only one Razor Leaf is enough to take more than 50% of our HP. Thankfully, we are able to defeat Bayleaf before she uses another Razor Leaf. Then comes Zubat, which is also vulnerable to Ice type moves and goes down quickly. In our way to the next city, we help a trainer get his Farfetch'd back and he gives us the HM Cut, but Swinub can't learn Cut. So we need to catch a Paras to help us cut the trees ahead. The next gym leader is considered by many as one of the toughest opponents of any Pokemon game, and that is mostly because of her tanky and high level Miltank that knows a very powerful move, Rollout. But we haven't lost a fight so far, so let's see how we match against her. First comes Clefairy. We use Powder Snow and she goes for Metronome. That turns out to be Twister, which doesn't deal that much damage, just like her next move, Double Slap. Then we manage to freeze her and finish her off with another Powder Snow. Miltank comes out and goes for Rollout immediately. Our Powder Snow doesn't deal that much damage to her, so our only hope is to freeze her, but that doesn't happen and we lose. We go train for a little while and come back with Swinub at level 30, after he learns the move Takedown. This time Clefairy almost dies with 1 takedown and is incredibly lucky by getting Flail out of her Metronome. This move deals more damage the lowest your Pokemon's HP is, and in this case Clefairy is in the red, and manages to deal quite some damage with Flail. Miltank comes out and we go for another takedown, which deals a bit more damage than Powder Snow would, and because we are quite high level, we are able to tank 2 rollouts and defeat Miltank with a couple more takedowns. And this is how we get ourselves another badge. Now it's time to borrow a bike, and because Swinub is almost at the level of evolving, it would be great to have an Everstone to give him. One way to get it is by getting second place in the bug catching challenge. But it's not as easy as it sounds, because it depends a lot on what Pokemon the other contestants catch. I had to reset a couple of times here, but we finally got to second place by catching a low level Scyther. Now holding an Everstone, we take Swinub to challenge our rival. He has 4 Pokemon, so he might be in a bit of a disadvantage. Haunter takes Powder Snow to his ghost face and then kills himself with Curse. Then comes Bayleaf that gets frozen with the first Powder Snow and dies with the second one. Zubat goes down with only 1 attack, and Magnemite goes down with 2 hits after missing Supersonic. Something important to note about effects that deal damage at the end of the turn, like the poison status and the curse move by Ghastly that you just saw, is that before Generation 3, which includes this game, those effects wouldn't deal damage in the turn when you defeated an enemy Pokémon. That's why we didn't take damage from Curse after defeating Bailiff and Zubat. After that Pokémon lesson, it's now time to get another gym badge. Ghastly goes down with a critical Powder Snow. The first Haunter is able to tank one hit, uses Nightshade but dies with another Powder Snow. The second Haunter tries to use Hypnosis but misses and goes down with 2 Powder Snows. His last Pokémon is Gengar. He is a bit tankier and is able to handle 2 hits from Powder Snow while missing Hypnosis, but he doesn't miss the second one, and is able to put us to sleep. Then he simply spams Dream Eater, and Swinub can't do much while sleeping, so we lose. We go back to training and get Swinub to level 46, and he learns a very powerful Ice-type move, Blizzard, and we head into the gym for revenge. Powder Snow takes down Ghastly. Blizzard only has 5 power points, which we might need for Gengar, so we keep using Powder Snow against the Haunters and are able to deal with them without much problem. Against Gengar we go for Blizzard. We hit it, despite it being a move with only 70 in accuracy, and Gengar goes down with only 1 hit. The next city is near the sea that we need to cross to get to the Fighting type gym, but for that we need a Pokemon that can learn how to surf. It's quite a nice day for fishing, so you grab an old rod and go fishing for a Krabby. Why a Krabby specifically, you ask? Krabby is the absolute HM master for this generation. He can learn Cut, Strength, Surf and Whirlpool later on. This is also when we teach the move Headbutt to Swinub, because it's a much better alternative to Tackle and has a 30% chance to flinch the enemy, which might be very useful in tough fights. So then we go surfing. Getting to Cyanwood City is easy. We just need to keep going west, and when we can't we go south. And we managed to get there in no time. Only after getting there did I remember that we haven't spoken to Jasmine, and we can't grab the medicine that she needs without talking to her. But we are here already, so why not defeat this city's gym right away? We don't do any training and simply go for it. We miss the first Blizzard, Primeape also misses his Furry Swipes, but we hit the second Blizzard, which is a one-hit KO. Then comes Poliwrath. Blizzard doesn't deal that much damage, but fortunately he misses Hypnosis. Then we hit him with Headbutt. He doesn't flinch, but he misses the Dynamic Punch. And we defeat him with the last takedown. Then we grab the HM Fly, but we don't have any Pokemon that can learn Fly, so we need to surf back to Olivine City. When we get there, we go talk to Jasmine, that tells us that she needs the medicine for her Ampharos. Instead of surfing across the sea again and running away from hundreds of tentacles, we catch a PJ to use Fly. Then we grab the secret potion and give it to Jasmine. Now she returns to her gym and we can go challenge her. She starts with Magnemite, that is somehow able to tank a Blizzard. He uses Supersonic, but Swinub doesn't hit herself and is able to use Powder Snow to defeat Magnemite. Next up is Steelix, which uses the super effective Iron Tail, which kills Swinub immediately. There isn't much we can do other than train and come back at a higher level. And when we get to Steelix again, we miss Blizzard, he uses Screech, we hit the second Blizzard, but it doesn't quite take him out, and it doesn't freeze him either. He is able to use one Iron Tail, and that's enough to take us down again. So we pack our pack with patience, and go back to training. We enter the gym once again, looking for revenge at level 60. Magnemite misses Sonic Boom and goes down with Headbutts. Steelix takes a Blizzard in his big rocky face and also goes down. Her last Pokemon is another Magnemite that also goes down with a couple of Powder Snows. We finally get the Mineral Badge, but our journey is far from over. The next city is infested with Team Rocket members, so we need to take care of them before anything else. And after that's done, we are able to challenge the Ice-type gym leader. He starts with Seal, that goes down with only one Headbutt. Then he sends out a tanky Dewgong that also goes down with 2 Headbutts. And last but not least, Piloswine. I'm not sure if Swinub knew him from her past or something, but we still only needed 2 Headbutts to defeat Piloswine and collect another gym badge. When leaving the gym, Professor Elm calls us asking for help in another city infested with Team Rocket members. Why can't these guys just go catch Pokemon and try to beat the Elite Four like everyone else? You get tons of money from defeating the Elite Four. How can crime be a better option? I don't see it. I just don't see it. Anyway, after defeating a bunch of Team Rocket members, our rival wants to battle us to see who is more worthy of defeating the rest of Team Rocket. His Golbat goes down with Powder Snow, Sneasel goes down with Powder Snow and a Headbutt. We miss a Blizzard against Meganium and get poisoned, but the second one hits and it's a one-hit KO. Finally, Haunter and Magnemite go down with a couple more Powder Snows. We are finally able to defeat the rest of Team Rocket and go back to our journey. After solving a couple of puzzles in the ice and moving a couple of rocks around, we get to Blackthorn City and go straight for the gym. This is the last gym leader in Kanto, but it shouldn't be that hard to beat her because Ice is super effective against Dragon types. So we go for Powder Snow against her Dragonair and that's enough to take her down. The problem is her next Pokemon, Kingdra. She is Water type and knows Surf, which is super effective against us. Thankfully, Headbutt flinches her and Takedown is enough to win us this fight. She then sends out 2 more Dragonairs that go down with Powder Snows. With every gym badge from Johto, it's time to challenge the Elite Four. We have some waterfalls in our way, so we catch a Goldeen to help us get through them. Right before getting to the Elite Four, our rival comes out of nowhere again to challenge us once more. Will he never give up? Sneasel dies with only 1 takedown, Kadabra and Meganium die with 2 Powder Snows each. Golbat also goes down to a Powder Snow, and how many Pokemon does he have again? Haunter is next and he dies with 2 Powder Snows, but Magneton almost kills us after we miss 100 Blizzards in a row. But we finally hit the Blizzard in the end and win the battle, leveling up to 69. Before challenging the Elite Four though, we go grab the TM Earthquake and teach it to Swinub. It's a very strong move that will definitely help us. It's finally time. The Elite Four will face the rage of the level 69 Swinub. Our first opponent specializes in Psychic types. He starts with Shadow. Powder Snow almost takes him down. He is able to deal some damage with Psychic, but can't tank another Powder Snow and goes down. Jinx is sent out after him and goes down with only 1 Earthquake. Powder Snow is super effective against Executor and he goes down with 2 hits. Next up is Slowbro. We are already with our HP in the yellow, so a water type move might take us down. Thankfully, Headbutt flinches Slowbro, we go for Blizzard after that, but Slowbro is somehow able to tank it. But he uses Amnesia instead of a damage dealing move. So we go for another Headbutt and he dies. The last Pokemon is Shadow. We risk it and go for Blizzard. It hits and it's a one-hit KO. This is how we beat the first member of the Elite Four. But there are still 3 more to go. Koga is our next opponent. He starts with Ariados, which goes down to a Powder Snow followed by an Earthquake. Then comes Venomoth, which also goes down to a Powder Snow and an Earthquake. Fortress gets hit with a Blizzard, uses Swift, and then goes down to a Powder Snow. Then comes Muck, which dies with a super effective Earthquake. Crobat is Koga's last Pokemon. He's Flying type, so a couple of Powder Snows are enough to defeat him. The Fighting type specialist Bruno is up next. He starts with Hitmontop. We hit him with a Headbutt, he uses Dig to escape another Headbutt, but we use Earthquake, a move that affects Pokemon while they are digging, and that's enough to kill Hitmontop. Then comes Hitmonlee. We go for Powder Snow in hopes to freeze him. It doesn't work and he deals half of our HP with a high jump kick. We stop messing around and go for Earthquake, which kills him. Hitmonchan is up next. He is very fast, so he manages to hit us first, but doesn't deal that much damage. We go for an Earthquake and it's a one-hit KO. Then Machamp comes in. He is barely able to tank an Earthquake, goes for a fighting move and we go down. It wasn't a bad attempt at the Elite Four, but with only 1 Pokemon, we definitely need to level up a bit. So we do just that and go for a rematch at level 75. This time we swipe almost every Pokemon of Bruno's with Earthquake. The exception was again Machamp. He manages to survive with very low HP, then he misses a Cross Chop, and we finally take him down with Powder Snow followed by an Earthquake. Then came Onix, which died with only 1 Powder Snow. Another side note, how does Jasmine have a Steelix at level 30 something and Bruno still hasn't evolved his Onix at level 46? Back to our battles, our next opponent is Karen, a specialist in Dark types. Her Umbreon is actually very tanky and is able to tank an Earthquake, but goes down with a Headbutt after that. Vileplume is next, but he can't survive a couple of Powder Snows after missing his Stun Spore. Houndoom can't handle a super effective Earthquake, and Murkrow can't handle a single Powder Snow. Our last Pokémon is Gengar, a Pokémon that gave us plenty of trouble in the past if you remember. Thankfully, this Gengar doesn't know the moves Hypnosis and Dream Eater. We get paralyzed with Lick after missing a Blizzard, but the second one hits and it's a one-hit KO. We can now finally face Lance, the last member of the Elite Four. He starts with Gyarados, and this is where I noticed that I was a dummy-dumb and forgot to restore Swinub's power points. We only have one power point on Blizzard, so should we give up already and start again? Of course not, let's try our best and see how he goes, it might just be enough. We start with Headbutt, it doesn't flinch him, and we take a super effective Surf to the face. That is definitely not the best start, but we follow it up with another Headbutt and that kills Gyarados. Then comes Charizard. We keep with the Headbutt strategy hoping to flinch him, and that's exactly what happens. And the second hit is able to take him down. Up next is his Dragonite. Having more power points in Blizzard would be great here, but we only have one and we might need it later. So we go for Powder Snow. It almost kills him, but not quite. Instead of going for a damage dealing move though, he goes for Safeguard. So we are able to take him down with a couple more Powder Snows. The next two Dragonites are a bit lower level, and that's why both of them go down with only one Powder Snow each. His last Pokemon is Aerodactyl. He is also vulnerable to Ice-type moves, but we don't want to risk missing Blizzard, so we go for Powder Snow, and take him down with 2 hits. And this is how we beat the Elite Four of Pokemon Gold with only Swinub. We could stop here, after all we are now champions, right? Well, not really, because we haven't dethroned the hidden champion, Red. To do that, we need to first get all the badges from the Johto region. But that shouldn't be too hard with our high level Swinub. First of all, we go tell our mom how our journey is going and what our plans for the future are. So we hop on a boat trip to Johto and sweep the lieutenant's team with Earthquakes. The same happens to Sabrina's team, and after we scare away another Team Rocket troublemaker, we also interrupt Misty's date. By the way, why did that guy run away from us again? Is Swinub that intimidating? Well, maybe. He defeated the Elite Four. So then we proceed to beating Misty with more Earthquakes. Janine is next, and her Pokemon get defeated by a couple of Powder Snows. And the exact same happens to Erika's Grass-type Pokemon. We challenge Brock next, and we also swipe his team with Earthquakes. Then we go tell Blue to go back to his gym, and we challenge Blaine in his temporary low-budget gym. We also defeat him with a couple of Earthquakes. But Blue, the last gym leader, might actually be tough to beat. He starts with Pidgeot. We use Powder Snow, and it's a critical hit, so it takes him down. Then Gyarados comes out, and we use Blizzard. It hits, but Gyarados survives, and uses Rainfall, which is very dangerous, because it powers up Water-type moves that are super effective against us, so a Hydro Pump or even a Surf might be enough to defeat us. Thankfully, we hit the second Blizzard, and Gyarados goes down. Next up is Alakazam, a very strong special attacker. He doesn't have that good defense though, and Earthquake is enough to defeat him right away. Executor is next, and the super effective Powder Snow takes half of his HP. He uses Leech Seed, and we kill him with another Powder Snow. Arcanine is Blue's next Pokemon, but he can't do much against our super effective Earthquake. His last Pokemon is Rhydon, which dies to 2 Earthquakes. With this victory under Swinub's belt, there is only the champion left to beat. So we go to Mount Silver, and we challenge Red with our level 82 Swinub. Pikachu dies with an Earthquake, but his next Pokemon is Charizard, which is faster than us and uses Flamethrower before we can do anything else. It's a very strong move and kills us with 1 hit. It's also a move with 100 accuracy, so there isn't much we can do. I tried again and again to see if Swinub could survive the hit, but he couldn't, even after leveling up to 88. At level 94 though, we are finally faster than Charizard, and we are able to hit him with a Blizzard, which is our strongest move. The problem is that he is able to tank it and always hits us with a Flamethrower. Our only chance would be to get Headbutt to flinch Charizard multiple times in a row, maybe 3 or 4, and that's just too much luck reliant. So we level up to 100, and give Swinub an Evermelt Ice for him to hold instead of his Everstone. This item will boost his Ice-type moves, which might be just what we need. So we go for a rematch. Pikachu goes down to an Earthquake, and we hit our first Blizzard against Charizard, but it isn't enough to defeat him. He's able to use a flamethrower and we take massive damage. We then go for Powder Snow and that takes him down. But Red still has many other Pokemon. The next one is Blastoise. We go for one of our strongest moves, Earthquake. That doesn't take him down and the Surf kills us. We won't give up just yet though. In our next attempt, instead of using Blizzard against Charizard, we go for Headbutt first. Charizard flinched. We then go for the strong Blizzard. It hits and we are able to defeat Charizard without taking any damage. Against Blastoise, we choose to go with Blizzard, but it deals very little damage to this tanky Blastoise. He goes for Rain Dance, and now we are really scared of Surf killing us right away with 1 or 2 hits. We go for another Blizzard hoping that it freezes him, and that's exactly what happens. We then use Earthquake and Blastoise goes down. Red's next Pokemon is Espeon, but we only need 1 Earthquake to take him down. Then comes Snorlax. We use Blizzard hoping that he gets frozen, but it doesn't work this time. Snorlax uses Amnesia, which increases his special defense, so we go for Earthquake, and somehow he manages to survive with what looks like 1 HP. We tank his Body Slam and finish him off with another Earthquake. Our last foe is Venusaur. We only have 1 power point left in Blizzard, but it is still our strongest move, so we go for it. It misses and now we might be screwed. There is no way we survive a super effective Solar Beam, so our only chance is to flinch him with Headbutt or freeze him with Powder Snow. We try going for Powder Snow and Venusaur gets frozen. Without wasting any more time, we go for Earthquake and this is how Swinub becomes the champion. This run was truly amazing. I always enjoy playing these Pokemon games again, and almost every time I do, I learn something new. Another thing that makes me come back to these games is the nostalgia. In this run, for example, as soon as I entered Mount Silver, I remembered when I first encountered the Sneasel and used all my Pokeballs to catch it. I'm telling you all of this to say that I won't stop making Pokemon related videos, at least for a while. I plan on trying a lot of challenges like this and the one I made a couple of weeks ago, but before that, I will do a couple of new and original challenges that I thought of. I already have about 3 to 4 ideas that I haven't seen anyone else on YouTube doing, so if you guys want to see the original and new challenges that I have in mind, please subscribe and hit the notifications icon to know when my next video comes out. Don't forget to also check my pinned comment in this video, because that's where I usually leave some questions for you guys. Like what name should I give to a Pokemon, or what name should I give to a new challenge that I'm thinking of. And that's it for today's video. Leave a like and subscribe if you've enjoyed, and don't forget to scroll down to the comment section and let me know of other cool challenges and videos that you would like to see. Thank you all so much for watching. This is Thundershock, and I'll see you on the next one. Finally, Haunter and Magnemite go down with a couple more snow powders. Sorry, I mean powder snows. Yeah. Finally, Haunter and Magnemite go down with a couple more snow powders. We get to Blackthorn City and go straight. I need water! I need water! Still need water! For the Elite Four to face the rage of the level 69 Swinub. Let's go! Time for the Elite Four to face the rage of the level 69 Swinub. Our first opponent specializes in specific types? Psychic types. That's right. Then Machamp comes. Machamp, 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 Machamp.